He led Libya for 42 years, from 1969 to 2011, until his regime came to an end. However, the reasons behind his death are still debated to this day. Gaddafi was captured by the National Transitional Council forces in Libya and killed after several accusations. Many people have attached his death to several causes or reasons, but it is not clear what the actual reason was. In this video, we will explore the real reason why he was killed. Gaddafi was a great African revolutionary leader who strongly advocated for the liberation of Africa from neo-colonialism. One of his ideas was to put forth an African gold-backed currency known as the gold dinar, which he previewed that all African and Muslim nations would adopt. If Gaddafi had succeeded in establishing such a monetary system in Africa, the United States of America, Asia, and Europe would have been forced to buy oil and minerals in the African gold-backed currency. This would have tipped up sales and put an end to neo-colonialism. However, Gaddafi's plans for Africa would have put an end to neo-colonialism and threatened the Western powers' control over African countries. Therefore, his idea was greatly turned down by the Western powers because it would have devalued their currencies and worked negatively on their economies. As a result, they would have had less or no control over African countries. Gaddafi was strongly pushing this agenda via the African Union, especially when he was the chairman in 2009. The West was scared and skeptical about the instability the gold dinar would cause to its economy. The decision to sell oil in the euro was a blow to the United States, worsened by the proclamation that the dollar was the currency of the enemy. All these would have brought back another currency war, which in history was very common, especially in intra-Western and Middle East countries. According to the International Monetary Fund's report, Libya's central bank in 2011 possessed an estimated amount of 144 tons of gold in its vaults. Muhammad Gaddafi's plan was to introduce a gold-backed currency that all African and Muslim nations would adopt. Although he had this in mind, he felt it could be some sort of rivalry with the euro or dollars. The United States got to know about the gold dinar when a senior advisor to the United States President, Sidney Blumenthal, indicated to his Secretary General Hillary Clinton through an email that Gaddafi's government was holding 143 tons of gold and similar amounts of silver in their bank. In late March 2011, these stocks were taken to the southwest direction of Libya's border. Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy also had an interest in Libya and learned about the gold and silver that the country had. He embarked on attacking Libya to gain a share in Libyan oil production, to increase their French influence in this country and North Africa, to improve his internal political situation in France, to provide the French military with a chance to regain its position in the world, and to address Gaddafi's plans of freeing the so-called Francophone Africa from the parasitic French control. Hillary Clinton, the then United States Secretary of State, sought to prevent the creation of such a currency in Africa. This hard currency would have allowed Africa to shake off the last heavy chains of colonial exploitation in the continent. The allegedly leaked email of Hillary Clinton had far-reaching implications on the fluid state. If this is to be compared to anything, it is an eye-opener where Africa seeks to build an independent economic structure. The West is seen to try and derail those plans so as to retain its primacy in world affairs. That is why Gaddafi saw an unexpected death due to his desire to get Africa and Muslim states a new currency. If you are just joining us, then you are watching the real reason why Gaddafi was killed. Like the video and share it so it reaches many more Africans. You can also subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell in order not to miss any of our amazing content. Let us now discuss the gold dinar, a groundbreaking dream for Africa. The goal of this new currency was to divert oil revenues to state-controlled funds rather than American banks. In other words, to eliminate the use of the dollar. Countries: Nigeria, Tunisia, Egypt, and Angola were all prepared to change their currencies as soon as the gold dinar was introduced. However, in March 2011, NATO, or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization coalition forces, launched a military operation in Libya in the name of freedom and humanitarian concerns. Unfortunately, many naive Libyans listened to and trusted the Western media rather than supporting their leader Gaddafi, who has ruled Libya for over 42 years because he was able to acquire the allegiance of numerous Libyan tribes by providing them with free water, practically free petroleum, a free health system, and low-cost education. The death of Gaddafi signified the end of an African dream. Muhammad Gaddafi wanted to avoid American influence in his oil transactions by using the golden dinar. He launched a project for this currency, and other African nations were ready to give him massive support. This was an African dream,